comrade. It's a great time having you. There's nothing can stop you. Motivational message I bring it to you. I want to remind you, I'm Bismarck said, go to my YouTube channel, have a lot of motivational messages. Nothing can stop you. Watch them, subscribe to them. Thank you so much for your support you've been giving me all this while. I also have e-books for you guys. Go to Amazon and Gumroad. Have the electronic books for you. Building your competitiveness in a crowded plant, $4. It will be impossible to have this world without you, $5. Your marriage will be a state of mind to the world, $5. There is something inside you, the world is in need of $4. Leaders of Generation Thinking, $5. Go to Amazon, Kindle, and Gumroad for these books. Also on YouTube, my channel is the name Bismarck. I have another channel I call Your Marriage Will Be a State of Mind to the World. There are a lot of teachings on dating and courtship, marriage. Go and watch them, subscribe to them, and thank you for the support you've been giving me. I thank you so much. In the next 15 minutes, I want to share with you a motivational message I've entitled Smarter Than the Whole Level of Competition Put Together. Smarter than the whole level of competition put together in your field of discipline. I'm trying to tell you that you are smarter than the whole level of competition put together in your field of discipline. So comprehensively, I appreciate that you are embodiment of a repository of the world's rebalancing explosiveness when you exhibit that extractive process of smartness. So understand that you have that sort of explosiveness when we exhibit that repository of smartness in everything you do. That somebody like personality, like very venerated personality like John Hopkins, an American merchant, investor, and philanthropist over the period, understood what it means to rebalance himself with that level of explosiveness in everything he does, with that level of that smartness. Expressively, with your extractive process of smartness and extraction of efficiency, you will be able to shape and detect the direction of competition in your field of discipline when you enhance your smartness, as epitomized by a person like Henry Clay Frick, who established the Henry H. Frick Company, Coke manufacturing company over the period in the US, understood what it means. But he has the agility, he can restructure its efficiency and shape and detect the direction of competition in this field of discipline. That's something you need to also epitomize profoundly. This attitude, ability to exhibit it, actually shapes your impeccability and ingenuity to anticipate any knee-jerk approach. If the knee-jerk approach, any approach that does not have any approach that have been taken but does not take into cognizance careful concentration, any approach that have been taken that was not well implemented, was not well effectuated, we call it knee-jerk approach, which is inimical to effectuating your staggering and crystallizing results. So profoundly, ability to exhibit smartness will help you. It will help your impeccability. It will help your ability. It will help your ingenuity. It will help your agility to deal with any knee-jerk approach or deal with any approach that is very inimical, that's very harmful towards getting this staggering, crystallizing results that you need. And these are things you have to brace yourself with. Personally, like Pablo Nevel Ferreira, a Brazilian educationalist and a critical pedagogy over the period, understood what it means to understand what it means over the period to sharpen his smartness when it comes to being smarter than the whole level of competition in the field of discipline put together. There's this quote from Robin J. Sharma, and a Canadian lawyer once said that greatness comes by doing few small things and smart things each day and every day. It comes from taking little steps consistently so that you can turn the ordinary to extraordinary. Ineffectively, when you exploit the extractive process of smartness, you can create something out of nothing. And these should be some of these very blessed mindset you have to embrace yourself. I want to share with you a story of a man called Marcus Goodman, who over the protracted period was able to make himself very smarter than the whole level of competition and field of discipline put together. Who is Marcus Goodman? He was a Jewish American investor, banker, businessman, and a financier who was a co-founder of Goldman Sachs Company. He started before that he started his career as a peddler. Somebody's a horse peddler with a horse drawn cat as a shoe. Later became a shopkeeper, setting up a broker with iWorks, instrument retains security over the period. That's how he started his career. From that small level, with that rudimental running requirement, that became an action that sharpened his mass over the period. In that early stage, another part of the early stage of his life, from that on, he moved from being a peddler of horse cart, a shop maker, and started being a broker. And after that, we went into business where we were transacting commercial papers. In the first year, was able to transact 5 million commercial papers. Even though it was very successful, it couldn't That time, even though it was successful, it was insignificant compared to those people who were already was connoisseurs in the field. The Jewish German called J.W. Seligman, a company who transacted $6 million in 1969. So it was a partner for him, even though he did well, was very successful. There was a need for him to move away ahead of his prowess over the period, as because those people in the field was already doing better than him. And therefore, it was very to him wanted to a partner to sharpen the smartness of the period with that level of impeccability and ingenuity in order to reach the nirvana, to reach the pinnacle that he wanted to be. So because of that, he saw that there's more that he has to do. There's more that he has to do to sharpen his smartness ahead of to be smarter than the whole level of competition in his field of discipline put together. So what he did was that with his smartness in 1982, he invited his son-in-law, called Simon Sachs, to join the company so that they commingle their effort. They can channel their synergies and consolidate their gains with that ingenuity over the period. The business boom. That time when they brought Simon Sachs, the business boom. They transacted 30 million worth of commercial papers in a year. They leapfrog the then company, second company over the period. Later, they changed the name to Goldman Sachs Company Limited in 1985. With its smartness, it helped him to stagger the burgeoning and exponential growth of the business for the period when he brought in his son-in-law, Simon Sachs. And that's where the business leapfrogged in productivity and efficiency, running ahead of the existing companies that were transacting commercial papers for the period. Currently, Goldman Sachs is dead and gone. Simon Sachs is dead and gone. But Goldman Sachs is the second largest investment bank in the world. But revenue in 2022, their revenue was $44.3 billion. That's more than the GDP of a lot of countries in Africa and Latin American countries. It was considered as a systematically important financial institution by the Financial Stability Board over the period. Smartness will stimulate a wave of massive accomplishment consistently, relentlessly, protractedly over the period to achieve that you want to achieve. I want to remind you, I have a lot of motivation message on my YouTube, my channel. I use the name is Marco said. Watch them, subscribe to them. Also have another channel. Your marriage will be a state of mind to all. There are a lot of teachings on dating and courtship. Watch them, subscribe to them for me. Thank you for your blessings of what you have given me. Have these electronic books for you. I'm not getting the sales. Help me drive the sales. I'm counting on you guys. Building your competitiveness in the crowded planet. $4. Go to Amazon Kennel in Gumroad. It will be impossible to have this war without you. $4. Amazon Kennel in Gumroad. Your marriage will be a state of mind to the world. $5. Amazon Kennel in Gumroad. There's something inside you the world is made of. Also, go and listen to my motivation message on there. Something inside the world is made of. $4. Leaders of Generation Thinkers. $5. Go to Amazon Kennel in Gumroad. I'm counting on you guys to help me drive the sales. Somebody will ask me, how can I sharpen my smartness? What are some of the panoramic ways of developing the attitude of smartness? What are some of the ways I can sharpen my level of smartness to face the level of competition? Number one, monumentally, equip yourself with that impeccable sense of rebalancing. Examine the smartest strategy and eclectic implementation approach of 50 to 200 self-made billionaires in your field of discipline. Rebalance yourself with the impeccable sense of equip yourself with the impeccable sense of rebalancing. Examine the smartness strategies and very eclectic implementation approach of self-made millionaires in the field of this. Examine about 50 to 200 of them. Sit down, examine them. Look at their smartest strategy. Look at their eclectic implementation approach. 50 to 200 of them. Extract these things and pull your level of smartness so that you can convert to this level of self-made billionaires in your field of discipline. Examine about 50 to 200 of these things. Critically examine their level of smartness and eclectic implementation approach, as done by Maria Dura, Swedish pharmacist, who was the first woman apothecary in Sweden in the area of pharmacy, understood what it means to extrapolate a lot of eclectic implementation strategies and smartness strategy from these personalities, these self-made billionaires in the field of discipline to build his self-agility. Number two, expressively examine more than 20 to 50 professions. Examine the myriad or numerous personalities and institutions that dominated the profession for more than 5 years consistently. Examine their smartness strategies and implementation patterns that help them to achieve that. So examine about 20 to 50 professions. Examine personalities, examine institutions that dominated these professions for consistently for 5 years, and examine the smartness strategies and implementation patterns these people exhibited, and find out how you equip yourself with them. As personalities like Robert de Luxac, a French architect, designer, Robert de Luxac, a French architect who designed Notre Dame Cathedral, but understood what it means to examine professions, people dominated institutions, personalities that dominated the profession for 5 years consistently, examine their smartest strategies and implementation patterns and extrapolate them to pull his level of smartness, and that took him to the pinnacle. Number three, profoundly Bridge your mental distance with 20. How do you bridge your mental distance? Examine 20 to 100 top-notch personalities, venerated entrepreneurial personalities in your field of discipline. Bridge your mental distance. How do you do that? Examine 20 to 100 top-notch venerated entrepreneurial personalities in your field of discipline. Extrapolate the entrepreneurial agilities, their smartness from these personalities, and take consistently like an entrepreneur. As done by Sir Bernard Arthur Owen Williams, a British philosopher who was knighted in 1989 for the prayer, understood what it means to bridge his mental distance. How do I do that? To examine 20 to 100 top-notch venerated personalities, entrepreneur personalities in my field of discipline. Examine their level of smartness, neglected approach, extrapolate a lot of entrepreneurial agilities and smartness from these very venerated personalities, and take consistently like an entrepreneur like them. And this will help you to achieve that consistently. Number 4, robustly, vehemently examine your decision-making abilities, enhance your decision-making ability. Somebody, how do I do that? By examining decision-making abilities of 50 to 100 personalities and institutions that were able to dominate competitive environment and industry. Extrapolate their decision-making strategies and assertive implementation approaches, and equip yourself, as epitomized by Joseph Stalin, Russian politician who led the Soviet Revolution in 1924 to 1933. Number 3, if you want to be smarter than the whole level of competition, your field of discipline put together. One of the things you cannot be oblivious about is also to robustly and vehemently examine your decision-making abilities. How do I enhance my decision-making abilities? Examine decisions taken by 10 to 100 personalities and institutions that dominated competitive environment and industry. Consistently examine their strategies, implementation approaches, and equip yourself with these things. They will build your decision-making abilities of the period to work towards achieving the level of smartness to dominate to be smarter the whole level of competition, your field of discipline to put together. Number 5, expansively shape your clairvoyance to build your competitive integrated edge to move with the new era of speed. Expansively shape your clairvoyance, your ability to predict the level of experience, competitiveness in your field of discipline in the next 5 or 10 years, and you adjust yourself to it. So if you want to be smarter than the whole level of competition, field of discipline together, one of the areas you should not abnegate, you should not be oblivious about is the fact that you're able to enhance your clairvoyance to build a competitive edge to move with a new era of speed. This will help you to move. This will help you to move with the transition in your field of discipline in the next 5 to 10 years. How do you do that? How can I enhance, how can I sharpen my clairvoyance to build my competitive edge? You can do that through transnational, resplendent experience, vibrating radical knowledge, and potentiating frameworks and models that are very relevant to equip yourself with these things that can sharpen your smartness. So how can you achieve that? You can achieve that but through transnational, resplendent experience, vibrating radical knowledge, and potentiating framework and model that are relevant to us, sharpening, equip yourself with these things that are relevant to us, sharpening your smartness. As done by person like Lee Chin, Singaporean billionaire business magnate, the CEO of Mindra, Chinese largest medical equipment manufacturer over the period, understood what it means to achieve that. So if you have a dream of building your competitiveness to permeate through the crowded planet, you have to think of sharpening your smartness, making yourself smarter than the whole level of competition in your field of discipline put together to be able to achieve that. I want to remind you, I have a lot of motivation message. Go to my YouTube channel. I'll be using them, Bismarck, watch them. Nothing can stop you with motivation message. I have plenty of them. Watch them, subscribe to them for me. Also, if you go to YouTube, I have another channel. Your marriage will be a state of mind. I have a lot of teachings on dating and courtship. Watch them, subscribe to them for me. And I also have these ebooks for you guys. Go to Amazon Kindle and Gumroad. Build your competitiveness in the crowded planet, $4. It would be impossible to have this war without you. $4. Go to Amazon Kindle and Gumroad. I'm not getting the sales. I'm counting on you guys to help me drive the sales. Your marriage will be a state of mind to your world. Amazon Kindle and Gumroad, $5. There's something inside you, the world is in need of $4. Leaders of Generational Thinkers, $5. Go to Amazon Kindle and Gumroad. Get these books for yourself. I'm counting on you guys to help me. Thank you. See you again. Remember to make yourself smarter than the whole level of competition put together to achieve that level of very palpable evidence and very results. Thank you. See you. I'm counting on you. Help me drive the sales of this book. Help me also watch and subscribe my videos on YouTube. Bye-bye. See you again.